Good afternoon. Welcome. Oh my goodness, what a day. It is Monday, August 14th, 2023, and it says I'm live and connected, I guess. So I will welcome you here if this is your first time. Thank you. And if you are returning, leave a comment. Let me know where you're from. And I am connected to both Facebook and YouTube. And just as a preface to what happened last week, and it's doing the same thing again. My little thing has turned to yellow. So I am going to keep an eye on this. If it doesn't work, I'm going to continue to record and then I will post this later. I think I'm going to have to get somebody in my house to reconfigure my things. So, hi Rose, cross your fingers. Something with the network is going yellow and red and all those colors I don't want to see. So, usually it turns back to blue. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I usually, when it gets wonky like this, I get a message that says, do I want to continue recording? And if that happens, just be prepared. Hi, Fran. Cute glasses. Yes, I'm going to talk about my glasses. Oh my goodness, what a life, what a life. A week ago, I don't even know if I had started to wear glasses yet, but anyway, I'm still dealing with a bit of a complication from my cataract surgery that was on August 3rd. Here we are, the middle of August, and somehow I don't think my brain has connected with the fact that I chose to get monovision, and I can still see beautifully distance, but it's the connection with the closeness. So if I took these off, I could hardly see anything. It's blurry what's on my screen in front of me. So I decided to get some readers at the drugstore, and the doctor said that's perfectly fine if you want to see nearer. So I go back to the doctor later in the week and we'll see if there's an improvement and where we go from here. But anyway, you'll notice that these are probably Stampin' Up! Colors. I think I've got Berry Burst here, which I'm going to use today. So anyway, I don't want to delay any longer in case this cuts out again. Just want you to know that if it does, I will continue to record and then post this later tonight. Hi, Carol, welcome. Okay, what am I doing? This is soon to be mini catalog time, but I cannot show it yet. And welcome, Shirley. Hi. But I am going to show something out of it today. You know, when we get new toys, we have to play with them. I know there are lots of other things that I have that I haven't played with yet. But anyway, I will show you a couple things out of here today, actually. But one I'm very excited about. So this is the mini catalog. And of course, it's full of Halloween coming up first, and then Thanksgiving for fall, Christmas, and I'm not ready even to think about those things just yet. So I will show you what I can, because once we have things from the catalog, we can show those. So I am all about loving when we get decorative masks, and they're usually just backgrounds. And a while back, I think mini catalog or two ago, we had some layering ones, which I just was all over in love with. And then when that mini catalog went away, so did those layering dies, or not dies, but masks. So we have another set of them, and these are called Abundant Beauty Decorative Masks. And there are 7 of them. And let me grab a piece of paper to show you. One is Fall Leaves, and that is a very nice one, which I'm not using today. Another one is Snowflakes. Not using that one either. And then a large background of houndstooth. And I'll show you how I use this on one of the samples that I'll show you towards the end. So for me, the highlight of this set, and you get all 7 of these, it's only $10.50. So when that catalog goes live, I think you're going to want these. You slip those back in there. And you'll notice that they're white instead of black. And I think they're sturdier. At least in my estimation, they are. So it's a different composition, and I think a lot easier to use. And I think the white makes it easier to clean, so you can see everything, and so on and so forth. So I'll put that paper away, put that away. And these are the highlight. Oh, I'll need the paper back again. The highlight of this set. And it's a set of layering. You can call them what you want. I'm calling them daisies. Or they can be sunflowers. But depending upon what color you want to call them, I'm going to do them in a daisy pattern today. So we have this. And notice that up in the corner, if you can see through the glare, there's a notch. And these are numbered 1 through 4. So there's number 1. Here's number 2. That is leaves. So you can see how that overlays there, right there. Okay. So there's a notch. So it makes it very easy to line up. So very brilliant. Number 3 are the little centers of each one of those 3 flowers. Again, a notch that goes up in the corner. And you could use this as a really cool polka dot background on a card, which I'm thinking about doing something with that. And then here's number 4 to give you the real centers of the flowers. And that's really nice. Let's see, I didn't get a color off of there, so let me wipe that off. They're very easy to clean. I've got my chamois here. And we'll go ahead and get started. So let me get them back in order. Put this away. And I'm also using a new stamp set called So Sincere. And it's one of our sets from $1 Million Achiever. When they achieve $1 million in sales over their career, they get to help design a stamp set and then have this little symbol put on it. The name is not on here, but I think it was a lady by the name of Sandy Hancock, and she has very nicely created, however much input she had, on all these wonderful sayings. So again, this is a set out of there that is not themed with a holiday. So feel better, hearts and prayers. Hope your day is a happy one, which I'm going to be using along with this vertical happy birthday. If you can see that with the glare. We don't get too many vertical stamps, so I was bound and determined that I'm going to use that vertical set or vertical stamp out of here. So let me get going. I'm still in a pink mode, kind of to go along with the new glasses. And then I've got lots of samples to show you. So stick around to the end, and I have a couple little tips to share with you that I've not shown in quite a while. So I am going to be using Moody Mauve, which is one of our in colors that I have not given much love to lately. And I have a piece of designer paper, and this is from a set of excuse me here, DSP that is called Masterfully Made, and it's in the annual catalog. And I will tell you, when I first saw this, it did not impress me at all. And I like to do torn paper. I like that a lot, but somehow it just didn't, it didn't float my boat, I guess. So the more I was seeing things done with it, I thought, oh, okay, I've got to have that. So I'll just very quickly go through some of the colors, and there's some of my favorites. Here's the Berry Burst. And here's another one. Actually, I have not even had a chance to look through all of them yet. So they're just, whoever puts these together, I think, and this, I'm going to use this one today. Amazing. And I just love the idea of the torn paper. So I guess I had to see it to know that I really liked it a lot. And I could have used that one today too. And there's that and that. So you're going to be seeing this a whole lot more. And I'm not sure what was at the other end, but you'll be seeing it again later. So that's not my showcase for today. So anyway, we have Moody Mauve and a piece of this that has, I think it's more fresh freesia, but it goes very well with the bubble bath that I'm going to show today. And you'll see here that I've got an extra space here, and that's where I'm going to put that vertical happy birthday. And I also have a piece of basic white for the inside and an envelope that needs to get decorated too. So basically this is where, Rose, you should be getting it soon. I know you were on my list, and since it goes live the 6th of August, or excuse me, 6th of September, you should be getting it in the next week or so. So, you know, give me a heads up when you do get it. I usually send myself one, and that way I know that they're going out to my customers. All right, so let's get these masks ready to go. And how you use this notch. And let's put this here, kind of centering it in the paper, or in the little grid sheet that's here. I'm going to put a little notch of snail, but unstick it a little bit so it doesn't tear the paper. And kind of line your paper up first, and then position your mask where you want it to go on the paper. And it can go this way, this way. Just know that that notch is going to be the alignment feature for it. So I do want to get the flowers on there, daisies or whatever. But let me show you a picture first of this down here in the corner was my inspiration for the pink flower. And then I came up with, let's see, can I get that one back? Let me delete that. Let's go back. I don't know if you saw that or not. And then this was another one. I guess I can't get them to come up. So I don't think you're seeing, there we go. Well, there you see it down in the corner. And then I looked for all different colors of daisies. And there are daisies from the blue, red, pink, yellow, orange. Of course, we know the white ones. So that's where we're going with that. All right. Let's go back here. You're seeing that. You're not seeing my hands. Okay. Let's remove a couple things here. And didn't see that. There we go. You should see my face in the corner and these daisies up here. All right, I am using Moody Mauve for the color on here. Now I want to take my pen and put a little mark up here where this notch is. Can you see that? Okay. All right. Let's do this. There we go. I think you can see things a little bit better. And there is a glare on this because this is plastic. But I think you can see where I put that notch. Okay, so I'm also going to grab a piece of tape here to hold this down. And we're going to get with the Moody Mauve and swirl that around. Now, here is a tip for you that I believe I showed a long time ago. And you know how we tend to forget things, and I do that too. If you want to tap ink off of your brush or your even your sponge dauber, we tend to dab it off on paper, which I will show you a piece of paper. Oh, never mind. I digress. And then you can't pull it back out of the paper. So this is a window sheet, or it's one of the sheets that comes from our photopolymer stamps. And this is what the photopolymer stamps come on, and then you put them in the case. And I always save these. These are so useful. So I'm going to tap my ink off onto that, and then I'll show you why in a minute, in case you can't figure out what I'm doing. So there's that. This is Moody Mauve. And I'm going to start light and go over this. Go over my 3 flowers. Okay, I can pick that up and look at it, and it looks pretty good. Now, if I want to come back down here, the tape should keep it in alignment, but this little notch is what helps. Now, if I want more ink, if I'm on paper, I can't bring more ink out of that, but I can pull ink right off of that window sheet instead of going back to my ink pad, and I've got plenty of ink now that I can highlight in the center of this. So that's what I want to do, is to highlight in the center. And I am going to go back to the ink pad and get a little bit more to really highlight the center of the flowers. And a sponge dauber would be good there too. Ooh, so there's what we have. Now, here's another tip that I found while doing these. Before you take your mask off of your paper, wipe the ink off. I found that it was smearing, and that also got some of that extra ink off of there that I didn't want. So that's today's second tip. Okay. And let's put that aside, and now let's come to the green one. Now remember, this is stuck down with a little piece of the snail adhesive. Now I can line this up with that notch that's up there, and even though I won't be getting all of this flower, or leaf, excuse me, leaf, or this one, I'll be getting that, and that's where they're supposed to align. And I can put that right back there. So now I'm going to go to Mossy Meadow. I was going to use Pretty Peacock, and as I tried that out on a sample, it was just a little too blue for what I wanted here. So I'm using Mossy Meadow. And let's put some of that ink down there too. Now, I'm not probably going to use this now, but when I do the inside of the card, I'll come back and pull that up. So there's plenty of ink on there, and I'm making it really, really dark on that light bubble bath ink. Bubble bath, pardon me, bubble bath paper. Ooh, is that pretty? Ooh, ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And once again, even though I know I'm going to use this again, I want to wipe that off. I just have this old towel that I use to get all my colors off. I use this to help clean my ink, my blending brushes too. Okay, so there we've got that one. Now let's come to the center and line that up. And it overlaps a little bit on the edge of the flower, and that's correct because I know that it lines up with that notch. And here comes Berry Burst. And this looks awesome with the, let's get that green out of the way, with the bubble bath. So I'm going to tap some of that off as well. Is that pretty? And then wipe it off before I take it off of there. What do you think? It's pretty, isn't it? Okay, I don't have the... See if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, I always do too much zooming. So let's go back out again. Okay, that's... I don't want to go so wonky since this is still showing in yellow. All right, and then one more, and this is for this center part. And for this, I was using different colors on some of my other samples and decided I wanted that to be black. So this is Memento Tuxedo Black. And again, this was so easy to line up. So here it is, Monday. Did everybody have a great weekend? Goodness sakes, we had storms on Saturday night into Sunday morning that I was about ready to head to the basement. Then we had some storms. Was it? Yeah, Friday night into Saturday night, and into Saturday morning. Lost track of the times. Yes, you need that, Rose. Yes. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, let me show that up close. Now, I'm going to just step away for a second and use an embossing folder. And I'm using the exposed brick embossing folder. It's in the new annual catalog. And this was easier than bringing my cut and emboss machine to the table. So this is just real quick. And I don't know if you can see the difference that gives. It's just stunning, just stunning. All right, let's put this card together. And notice that I still have some ink on this window sheet that I can come back and use instead of going back into the ink pad when I do the inside and also the envelope. So I don't want to get my elbows in that. So before I adhere any of this, this is the area where I want to put that vertical happy birthday. And for that, I'm going to stamp in Berry Burst. And what I found with this one, it was so easy to get the edges, because I did a couple samples where those edges got caught. So I made sure that I kind of put this up in the air and look down to make sure I'm only getting those letters on there. And very careful that I don't get any ink along the side there. So now I'm going to position this where I know I want it to go. Let's see, I might have to move this a little closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. We take our vision so much for granted that when things go a little wonky, it's really scary. So let's make sure the happy birthdays go in the right direction here and see where I want to stamp that. Oh, perfect. Straight down, straight up. So there's happy birthday right along the side. And clean that off real quick. And let's see, what kind of adhesive do I want to use? I think I need to get a new glue here. So we've got liquid glue. Then I'm going to do another little trick I've not shown, or tip I haven't shown in a long time, to put this whole layer on the card. So there's what we have so far. And this is the other side of that paper. Isn't that pretty? Can't wait to do something with that. All right, this is something I've not shown in a while. And this is using the tear and tape. If you want something to be exactly where you want it to be, I like using tear and tape as an adhesive for precise placement. And I'm going to put this on all 4 edges. And this is good especially when you have other textures on your card. Okay, I'm not overlapping what's already down there at the 2 ends. So if you've been watching me for a while, you may remember this and then just forgot to use it. Okay, so here we have the tear and tape all the way around the edge. And when I pull this off, I can use my pokey tool from my Take a Pick, and don't pull it all the way off. Pull it down about 1 inch and make a little tab. And I'm going to do that on all 4 edges. Pull it down about 1 inch, pull the tab out so that it's out along the side. Because when you have a good adhesive that you know isn't going to move anywhere and is very unforgiving, once you put it down, you're stuck. This way, when you've got those little tabs, I can have some repositioning with just those little areas if I need to. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here to my, let's get that out of the middle, to my card base, which is the Moody Mauve. And lay that down so it will stick in the area that I pulled off first. But if I do need to pull it up, I do have some wiggle room. I could pull that up if it's not exactly straight. Okay, so now it's straight. I can really push that down, and now I just pull those tabs off, and my card is positioned exactly where I want it to be. And there was no need to put any adhesive in the center. So that's all done. All right, now let's go back and do something on the inside. And I'm not going to worry so much about the notches for this one, but I'm going to go back and pull in my daisy and just put a little daisy down here in the corner. And you want to watch that one of the other edges doesn't pull up in there. And now here's where I can pull some of that ink off of that window sheet. And color that in. Looks pretty good, pretty good. And once again, I want to wipe that off before I move on. Okay, and let's say I want a little bit of this, I'll take the whole leaf there. And here's where I can come back and pull some of that ink off of my window sheet instead of going back into the ink pad. Do that. And then, oops, too big. On this one, I'm just going to come back with that little bit of pink there. And should be enough ink left in the black one. To do that. And then I have the sentiment, hope your day is a happy one, that goes along with the happy birthday. And for that, I will also use Berry Burst. And I got a lot of ink around the edge, so I better wipe that off. And hope I can get that straight. Okay, pretty good. A little wonky. Okay, that's going to go on the inside. We'll just put some snail in here for this. And then let's come back and add just a little bit more to the envelope. Okay, so I'm going to pull some more ink off of there. Ooh, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh. And let's take one of these little leaves here. Pull some of that ink off of there. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that and leave that center plain. I have some samples to show you. And then I will clean the rest of those off in a minute. Let's put these away. So what do you think? Are these going to be on your wish list? So here we go. Here is today's pretty card. Happy birthday. Hope your day is a happy one on the inside. I mean, I just love that you can do so much shading with these. I think you'll like these a lot, and I hope they stick around. And then I'll be using some other things with those other backgrounds with the leaves, and heaven forbid we'll have snowflakes before we know it. Let's get that ink out of the way or I'll get my elbow in there. I just know I will. But here are the samples. And as I started, this was my original one. Oh, I know what I forgot. We need some bling. On this one, my original sample with that color scheme, I used some Berry Burst sequins. And then I decided on this one, I would use the 2325 in color dots and use the Moody Mauve for this. Let's put one up there, medium size, put one down here, and we'll put a big one up here in the corner. So there is, whoops. Lost it. And now I see I'm back in the blue. So obviously everything worked okay today. So here's today's card. And my sample and show you what I started with. This was the first one that I did, and I did a little spotlighting, and wait till you see these. Also from the new mini catalog is a whole set of deckled circles. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 deckled circles. Obviously very large ones for maybe scrapbooking. So I did this one thinking more sunflower, and then cut that out to spotlight it, and then cut out another one to put the sentiment on the front, and then here's a little bit of ribbon down here at the bottom. And on most of these cards, I just decided they didn't need ribbon. I have ribbon, but I didn't use. That just kind of blew me away today when I decided to switch and not use white as the background and use a color cardstock as the background. Now I have more white ones to show you, but this and this just really blew me away. So this is more of a sunflowery one, but it allowed me to also use the happy birthday. And then this is the other one. Let's see, this one is going to open this way. Your kindness is so appreciated in Misty Moonlight. And what did I use on that one? Boho Blue. And then added a little bit of the twine down here at the bottom. So that was with the white also. Here's another one with the happy birthday along the left. And this was okay, but this I took some bubble bath ribbon and colored it with, I guess I used the berry burst. I used the berry burst on there. So you can take a light color ribbon and color it into something else. And on this one, I used white, our basic white ink in the center, and I wasn't real thrilled with that. Okay, here is another one with that spotlighting technique and some of the bubble bath ribbon. And I didn't care for the brown in there either. So these are the things when I play around to get ready for what I'm going to do this week. But I kind of like the pink. Okay, here is one more where I did some fussy cutting and cut it out and made it a little get well card. And then just popped it up on one of those deckled circles. And this is paper from the Eclectic, I forget the name of the DSP, Eclectic something or other. It's a big, huge pack of 12 by 12 paper. And then one final one, which was one of my original ones from yesterday. Got some bubble bath ribbon here. Again, I didn't care for the brown that I put in there. And I used the deckled rectangles on that one. And then also embossed there. So I've got a whole array of cards here with, whether you call them sunflowers or daisies or whatever. I think this is probably my favorite though, with the yellow. And then the pink, which I love. And let's see, this was the one from today because it's got the envelope and there. So there we go. And I think we made it through without too much freezing. Nobody gave me a thumbs up or any problem with it. So I hope it all worked out. Thanks, Carol. I love all the samples. I love them. So they're so much fun. So I will see you again next week. Hopefully vision is better, but I have a feeling I'll be wearing these glasses for a while, especially if I want to see things up close and not blurry. Fortunately, I can see to drive. So anyway, have a great rest of the day. I think it is raining when I go out in a little bit. And have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.